like different nachos.
All right, you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. Hello, I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jeremy.
And in today's show, we are going to be discussing, to me, it just seems like it's all bad news, but I'm sure there's some good news in there somewhere, right? I mean...
What are you talking about?
There's some good news and there's some very bad news.
Well, okay. So we're going to talk about the movie news with comic book news. Is that kind of same deal?
Well,
No?
I mean, most of the movie stuff itself
It's basically
is
Comic-Con news.
comics-related movies, that sort of stuff. And a few releases today on DVD and Blu-ray, of course.
Yeah. And then we'll have your Nintendo news up next. We'll probably know what we're going to talk about in that one. If you haven't heard, stay tuned because it's quite
Rather disheartening.
quite a bit, yeah. And then, thirdly, we'll have your nerd vocab, probably with video game news. And then lastly, we'll have your technology and science miscellaneous news.
Yes.
All right, here on the Nerd Edification Hour. So, Rachel, what's going on in the whole movieverse?
Everything.
Everything?
Literally everything.
Oh.
Well, as you know...
There's a few things.
Well, as you know, Comic-Con just stopped, or is...
It just happened.
It just happened. It was like... the San Diego is the the really big one that occurs.
I've got to go to that one a few times. It is unbelievably massive.
And the cosplays are ridiculously good.
Yeah, I've got some photos
Ridiculous.
below.
Oh, they're just...
I haven't been to any con ever.
I went.
Well, guess what? There's one on August 1st right here at the college.
That's
it
right.
Costs $10 to go.
I have to remember to buy tickets or else the Nerd Edification Hour won't get to go in.
I've already bought tickets.
Yes, I need to do that. But the San Diego one, I mean, we got to go to that one a couple years. Me and one of my other co-hosts on our show over Insomniac. We went and we would do a lot of the interviews and stuff there, and that place is just insurmountably large. Just there's so much going on.
Yeah, there is. Markiplier, one of my favorite YouTubers, were there, and the line apparently for seeing him at his booth was so long and so rowdy that they shut him down.
Wow.
And he was very sad. So anyone that would walk by or come up, he had this cardboard sign on his head, they shut me down. No.
Maybe one day we'll have a booth and then we'll get shut down for having a crazy rowdy line.
You never know. You
Work
never
your way
really
there.
know.
Just
So they can line up and hear my golden voice.
Let's
Moving on.
Let's talk about the movie and TV news. So finally, the upcoming season of Arrow, it's the fourth season, and it's CW's hit comic-inspired series. Finally, the filming for season 4 begins today, or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. And it was revealed that the premiere episode is going to be titled Green Arrow, which means his costume's finally going to change into green.
Yep.
Yay!
Well, it's always been kind of green. It's just going to be, he's actually calling himself
So
Green Arrow.
now. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to, now it's official.
Because it was the hood, then the arrow, now it'll actually be Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Then it'll be the green hooded arrow, right?
And then just Oliver Queen, and then someone else take over. Then I'll go back. And then
Yeah, exactly. And then confirms his new role as Green Arrow, as we said, and it insinuates that Starling City will get its name to Star City soon, as was briefly teased in season 3. And also, isn't Diggle getting a thing now too?
He's finally, as they say, suiting up. We don't know what his costume looks like. At least I'm not aware of it yet. But because he's kind of joked about that for a couple times. He's like, you should get a suit. And he's like, I'm not wearing one of those things. Not again. He wore it once to help out where he pretended to be the Green Arrow to kind of, the classic, I'm not this superhero. That guy over there is,
Yeah. But yeah, and so that's happening. And speaking of DC, as you might have noticed at Comic-Con this past week-ish, the Suicide Squad trailer was finally first leaked and then officially released.
Because we haven't seen anything about that series yet.
Yeah, we've just saw a lot of, they were very open about where they were filming and what they were doing, but I admit there was a lot of cool stuff in there that I was like, oh wow, well okay, there might be some stuff that we haven't seen yet, and then of course we also got our first official look at Jared Leto on screen as the Joker, which, frankly, I think he's going to do rather well as the character. He's a very strange man.
I'm curious to see how it is because in the world of the Suicide Squad, the Joker really didn't have a big part in it. So I'm wondering if they're kind of leveraging what's going to end up being just a side character, kind of pushing it to get everyone's attention. Because Harley Quinn was part of the Suicide Squad because the Joker was not around. She was separated from him. So
maybe
that's my only concern is like they're pushing him so much in the trailer and he may end up just being a bit part.
Well, maybe they're going to illustrate why she's in maybe he's part of that, saying why she's in the Suicide Squad. Maybe that's why he's there this is why she's here as a backstory portion.
Like they have to be careful how they juggle that because you're talking about 8 separate characters are going to have to give explanations of where they came from, how they got there. That's going to take up a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
For 8 different ones because I saw backstories for Deadshot. Will Smith's character. They showed some of that.
It could be only a couple of minutes and stuff each.
Yeah, because some of those have got some fairly complicated backgrounds. Kind of explain or even see what they are.
With the film industry, they've got to be able to explain who some of these characters are, at least in small detail, and kind of gloss over it a little bit for those who like the comic book films and stuff based on those universes, but aren't necessarily in the
I wasn't laughing at you about that. I just ended up thinking, like, how many times have we had to see the explanation of Bruce Wayne's parents die, or how many times have we seen Uncle Ben die?
Right.
Every movie.
Yeah, it's the same kind of concept thing.
Right.
And now it's how many times we're going to send the Fantastic Four to get electrocuted or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's one I'm not really excited for.
No, I'm not either. But the trailer itself I thought was cool. The music was cool.
I'm interested to see what it is. I'm just curious how they're going to take this take on it because I guess I could kind of see the Joker having a bright pink metallic Lamborghini.
I mean, he's flamboyant enough. You got to remember one of his suits in the past was magenta.
Oh, no, I remember that.
Bright magenta. So that could be like kind of going back to that. A teensy bit. So who knows?
Kind of like a punk version of it, almost looks like.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
We'll see. It'll probably be very good or, I wouldn't say very good, but it'll probably be good or very bad, probably.
I don't think it'll be bad.
That's what a lot
we'll
of
see.
people
The
are
jury's
saying.
still out on it for me, but, I mean, I'll give it a chance, but...
And speaking of trailers, we may have to wait till November to get the full trailer for the upcoming Warcraft movie, but it seems that Legendary Pictures and Blizzard have taken pity on us and decided to give us a taste of what's to come.
Dude, I watched this. It looked kind of cool. It was it's like a 360, you look around.
It's an interactive trailer. It was part of the VR sort of preview sort of stuff that happened at Comic-Con, I believe. It was led by the infamous Industrial Light and created by the infamous Industrial Light and Magic, places you atop the back of a griffin as it soars over the human capital of Stormwind. So that's super, super cool.
Interesting.
That is super cool and super different, and I like it when anybody decides to be creative and do that sort of
What
thing.
if they have a version of this I can use my Oculus with? And just kind of look around in 3D.
I think you might be able to, but speaking of VR stuff.
I know you could do it on your phone.
Well,
do that
yeah. Speaking of VR stuff, also at Comic-Con, Google Cardboard was there as part of the Crimson Peak booth, and you could do a VR sort of thing for Crimson Peak. And Crimson Peak looks amazing, by the way, like all Del Toro movies. So, and it's been his first one in a long time that I've actually been like, oh, I'll probably see that. So, and I mean, it's got Tom Hiddleston in it, and that's like an added bonus.
Now, this one, the Warcraft movies, I didn't see much about it. Is it going to be, they decided it's going to be full live action, or is it going to be a CG movie?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know if they have the live
Looks like a
action,
bit
some
of
of it
both.
have to be CG, but I didn't know which way they were going with it.
They haven't really told us much else.
Oh, okay.
Here's
Here's a griffin
not a
ride,
lot of
have fun.
information. Yeah, pretty much. The one thing I will nitpick about the trailer is like when the wings on the griffin flapped, it was like really, it's like desynchronized or like really.
Well, you're trying to
loud.
run multiple videos when you're doing that. As
Well, yeah, it was like
turns.
whoosh, and I was like, wow, that's really loud for a griffin flapping.
It's better than I can do.
Yeah.
Whoosh,
But but speaking of Crimson Peak, Del Toro, when he was there,
So yeah, I was like, well,
he was promoting it at Comic-Con this past week, and during one of the interviews that he had, he said he has this idea for a Star Wars anthology movie, which would see the origins of gangster Jabba the Hutt. Which is really weird in the sense that, like, he talked about it a little bit, saying, you know, I would do the sort of Godfather saga. The Jabba the Hutt would have to go through to gain control.
Except he's a giant slug.
Exactly. He said he loves the idea of the Hutt type mafia and also the character, but
Come to me on the day
don't
of my
expect
daughter's
that.
wedding.
Yeah, don't expect.
Do a favor.
No,
Slugling.
don't expect it to actually happen though, because
not.
it's not real. He's not signed on to it or anything. He was just geeking out and talking about it. You know how creative types get.
We've seen a rough preview of what Jabba looks like walking around with that horrible added scene from Star Wars. May he never leave that pedestal he's on, even when he died there. I don't care. Just don't make him move anymore.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But like, you know, creative types, they get kind of on a tangent about something they really like, and they just word salad everything. So
Yeah.
And Caleb, tell us about the Wreck-It Ralph sequel.
Okay. You know, I have mixed feelings about sequels, but here we go.
Oh, I'm
so,
happy.
I'm happy.
As Rachel said, Wreck-It Ralph 2 has been pretty much kind of confirmed. Would we say it's confirmed?
Pretty much. I mean, if John C. Reilly says something, yeah.
Yeah. John C. Reilly has confirmed that he will reprise his role of the video game villain or main character hero. Wow, that's weird. Wreck-It Ralph, because technically he's a villain, but then he's a hero at the same time. That was, yeah.
Hero of a movie, villain of a video game.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a better way to put it. Thank you, Jeremy, for clearing that up.
Yeah, well, and what's cool about it, though, is because now they're saying is that it's believed that producers for the sequel are in talks with big-name companies like Nintendo to include new characters like Mario and Link, whereas, you know, in the previous installment, characters like Bison, Bowser, and Pac-Man were featured, but now they're wanting Mario and
some
Link.
big ones, though. I mean, they were considering Mario in the last one, but some stuff fell through at the last minute when they couldn't work him in there.
So
they did
just showed
get
his
Sonic,
hat.
though, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
There was a whole lot of Sonic, which, you know, I kind of like. I mean, I like Sonic. He's cool. Except for Sonic Boom. Don't like Sonic Boom. But,
And we don't talk about that. We do
DS
not
one wasn't
talk
bad.
about that at all.
So, I don't know. Wreck-It Ralph was a big thing at my house, so as soon as my kids find out about it, they're going to be quite excited because we watch it a lot. My daughter kind of jokes, you know, she has an anoxic brain injury, and she was watching it and started referring to, when she has trouble with stuff, it's her glitches. And that's how she started recognizing and referring to it, so...
That's
adorable.
Actually good. That's adorable.
Well, it's an interesting way for her to understand the issues,
Yeah. Hey, if it makes her feel better, it helps her, then that's
Oh, yeah,
good.
she loved it. So
Yeah.
we watched that movie a lot.
And movies that have been released this day or week on DVD.
Yay.
Are X-Men Days of Future Past. I think the Rogue cut has been included.
Days of the Past of the Future. And
Yeah, they showed some of that stuff where her character was cut.
Yep, it's on Blu-ray and DVD, and apparently it's vastly different. There's some vastly different outcomes from it.
Yeah, with Rogue involved.
Yeah, and also Ex Machina, also on Blu-ray and DVD.
That was an interesting one. I
haven't seen it yet.
Me neither.
It looks a little too creepy for me.
It's not really so much it's creepy. It's an interesting look at artificial intelligence and people.
That's why it's creepy.
yeah.
Oh, it's not in a bad way, though.
But
It was all right. I liked it.
But that is all of our movie news for
Well, I could probably
this
squeeze in
time.
one more thing
a
real
little
quick.
squeeze.
Just to go back on some of it, for the Oliver Queen stuff, The Flash is also getting a new suit
Good, awesome.
coming in. And then they also announced in tie-in with the Suicide Squad, Joker's The Killing Joke is becoming an animated movie.
Oh my.
Yep.
Oh.
Little bonus slide in there.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
that's going to be interesting.
Not for children, people.
No,
Not for
not
children.
for children.
Or Barbara Gordon.
No. Okay. Next up, we'll have your Nintendo news. And because of the Nintendo news, which we will go over next, that's all we're playing today.
It's Nintendo music.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm fine
first-
with that.
First one on the list is Dark Pit's theme. It's from Kid Icarus Uprising, which I really would like to see a sequel to because that's amazing. And we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
And we are back on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. My name is Rachel. I have next to me Jeremy.
Hello.
And then in front of me, I have Caleb.
Hi, how's it going? I'm just going to slowly back off from the microphone.
Oh. What?
I
So
don't know.
people don't hear you get all misty-eyed and sobby?
Hear my tears.
Yeah. We had some very sad news this week. The
Very
president...
surprising news.
It was very surprising.
Gosh, like wow.
Way out of nowhere. On Sunday, I believe. Yes.
Yes, 'cause
Sunday they announced
Sunday.
it. Saturday is when it happened.
Yeah. He on Sunday, Nintendo announced that their president, Satoru Iwata, passed away at the age of 55. The statement reads, Nintendo deeply regrets to announce that President Satoru Iwata passed away on July 11, 2015 due to a bile duct growth. Bit of background, he was forced to skip last year's E3 due to his poor health, and shortly afterwards he underwent surgery to remove the bile duct growth. A few months later, in the wake of concerns over his health, he said via Twitter, "I'm progressing well," which means it, I guess, even though he did get it removed last year, it came back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was a talented programmer. He joined Nintendo's HAL laboratory in the 1980s, where he worked on games like Balloon Fight and Earthbound. And then he became the director of the company in 2000. So, and in 2002, he was appointed as only the fourth president of Nintendo when he succeeded Hiroshi Yamauchi. Want to continue, Jeremy?
Yeah, with HAL Laboratories, he didn't join it. He was one of the original ones that created
Yeah.
it. He actually helped name it HAL based off the 2001.
I'm just reading what's on the paper.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying because he became the fourth full-time employee with the company. He had helped found it, worked there part-time because him and the other guys started this in high school. And this includes like Sakurai, who made, who created Kirby, who created the Smash Brothers series, who made Kid Icarus. They started that, and then even later on, like when they were doing things like Smash Brothers Melee, when he took over around the GameCube launch, he assigned himself to HAL to work on Smash Brothers, so he could go there. They'd spend the whole nights doing coding and everything, doing full overnights and working on that by himself.
Yeah. I mean, in his time as president, Iwata oversaw some of the strongest stuff like Wii and DS, and then the weakest, as in GameCube and Wii U. But, I mean, GameCube grew. It started out weak, and then it grew to kind of larger, and Wii U is doing the same right now. And those were periods in Nintendo's history as a video game company. And then in recent times, he developed this kind of cult status as the host of the Nintendo Direct programs, where he was always just so animate.
Yeah,
and
direct,
like literally direct and just very funny, and he's a cool guy.
That's probably what I like, is like he tried. And, when he spoke English, it was just like, you're trying.
He did pretty good about speaking English. He did really good about just a lot of the stuff he did, connecting with people and the fun he had with it.
Yeah, he actually did very well for someone who's learned English as a second language. So.
But yeah, I mean, he had a lot of times, like during Nintendo's financial issues they had with the Wii U and so forth, twice he actually, instead of laying anybody off, cut his pay in half. And just chop that so that they didn't have to fire anybody, because he believed if anyone thought, they were at risk of being laid off, they wouldn't make the games they need to make. The short-term financial gain wasn't worth it.
Right.
I think one of the other little funny stories they had about him is, anybody remember Pokemon Stadium?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, whenever they first sent over the notes to start that game, they never included any of the battle information. So instead of trying to get that back from him, he spent a week by himself going through line by line of the code of the actual Game Boy original games to redo the entire battle system for those games. So the entire battle system for Pokemon Stadium was all done by him in a week.
Good guy, Iwata.
From scratch.
He's, I mean, a couple of my favorite moments of that were, video based were in one of the informational press release videos that they had always done for new products and stuff. And he spent 30 seconds at the beginning of a video staring at a bundle of bananas. And this was for the new Donkey Kong game that was being
Good old
released at the
Donkey
time.
Kong.
And he just stared at the bananas, like just stared at them. And I was like, what? And then I think the bananas made a reappearance in this year's E3 video with the Muppets.
They reappeared a lot. They
Yeah.
got brought back as a joke over and over again because they knew how funny that was.
Yeah, and it was, if I remember correctly, in the Muppet video, it was because they are Muppets, they're not puppets.
Thank you.
He's holding the bananas, then he quickly stuffs them under his desk.
Well, he keeps them up. He's just kind of looking at them.
Yeah.
And he looks at the camera and just gets this weird wide-eyed look. And then
Exactly. And then my other favorite one is from last year for the Smash Bros. Video where he and Reggie just duke it out.
first time they showed off Amiibos.
Yeah.
That whole fight was hilarious. I remember some of the earlier stuff from like the GDC, or Game Developers Conference, where they'd be competing on stage. They were showing off Mario Kart DS for the first time in the local wireless multiplayer. And this guy's, he's the CEO of a company. He's the head of it. He's back in the corner smack talking to everybody and just having fun jumping around playing this game with everyone like everybody else is. And it was absolutely hilarious to watch. And he just stomped everyone with it.
Yeah.
So
He's definitely shaped a whole generation
And I
of
mean,
people like myself.
there's
and
just this-
us included.
Yeah, he definitely has. And there's just this outpouring of stuff from fans, like quotes.
I cannot even
videos,
go on Facebook without
artwork.
my eyeballs sweating
And
because
so much like
So much.
outpouring of love from the fans that Nintendo actually, released a statement about it. Like how proud they were and how much they appreciate their fans of like just how awesome they were during this very difficult time.
yeah, because a lot of them, they were very close. They were talking about how after some of the shows, they'd always go for an In-N-Out burger. While they're in California, they'd kind of sneak off to one of them and get some stuff. They always did things together. So Bill Trinan, who is one of the heads of production, I think, over at the Treehouse here in North America.
Yep.
He was supposed to be competing in the EVO Smash Brothers tournament this week, but he ended up announcing today he's going to be backing out of that for obvious reasons. He's probably going to be attending the funeral. He's got a lot going on. So I can only imagine how it's affecting all of them. What was it? I just said his name a minute ago. The guy that created Smash Brothers.
Sakurai.
Yeah,
Thank
Sakurai.
you. He ended up saying he just went to work because he just didn't know what to do. So he just went to work like he thought he should and just kept working in honor of him.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time for Nintendo right now. I mean, they're going to have to decide who will succeed his position, and one of the front runners is...
well, right now it's being co-run by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takara-san.
Yeah, it's being co-run, but they do need to choose. That's what they said, and Miyamoto is, I guess, one of the front runners.
Yeah, I don't think he would actually take it. He doesn't want that job.
No, he doesn't,
Yeah,
and
no,
I don't think he's going to take it, but people want him to take it. That's the thing. So, but as we said earlier, we're playing all Nintendo music today. In celebration of Mr. Iwata's life, so that's why. And we did include some from games he worked on, right?
Probably. Well,
Yeah, he's probably worked on a little bit of everything.
Do you have the music from Balloon Fight?
I think we do. Actually,
Nice.
that's the one
That's one of the
coming
ones
up
you
That's
made.
the one
next.
coming up
There you
next.
go.
That's
Well,
awesome.
then.
And just
Perfect.
to explain, that is a game he created. So
Yeah, one of the fans actually modded the NES copy to run where it had an 8-bit version of Iwata being held up by 2 Kirby balloons.
That's-
you could actually play it, and that was
That's
his
so wonderful.
way of honoring it. That would be a great thing just to release.
now there is a petition going around to release an Iwata amiibo.
Oh, I hope no amiibo. That would just be a pain. Just trying to get that and what they would use it
There's
for.
going to be a truck, or there's going to be a boat, and then the pirates are going to take the boat that have all the amiibos.
Yeah, I think Nintendo will find a way to honor him in their own way.
They'll probably include little references to him in their games forever.
So, breaking news: the Legend of Zelda 2016 is being pushed back even further to implement a new character.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
No.
They'll find their own way to do it. These people that develop these games knew him best.
What if they? Oh well, and they still have DLC content to put into Smash Bros. So it could very well be a skin for your amiibo.
It depends on what his family wants. His family may
Yeah.
not want to see something like that. They may
not.
just want to honor him in a different way. So,
May
I mean, I
not.
know the fans want some of these things.
Well, this is just like ideas of stuff they could do, not necessarily stuff they would do.
Oh, yeah,
But
they could do almost anything.
They
It's
could,
just,
yeah. But once again, like I hope, and the fans probably realize this. We realize this. They have to respect the family.
Yeah.
And of course, the family knows that the Mr. Wada loved video games, so they'll think of the best way, and there'll be an agreement between everybody of what's the best way to honor him. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe sent out a message and put his Mii out again with the 3DSs and stuff like that, so people could keep that Mii.
Yeah.
Because I had the ones from his previous ones, but after my 3DS was stolen and wiped, I lost all of them, so I don't
Yeah.
have his Mii anymore. But a lot of that can be shared online now with the QR codes too.
All right.
So
They'll probably send out as me once again, like you said, on there with some special stuff attached, perhaps.
We'll see in due time. So it's very sad news. Not that I like to report on sad news here on the show. We usually get to keep it happy, but things like this happen.
But yeah,
so.
and it was a very.
It was very sudden. Like
and
I was at work and I saw like tweets about it, and I was like,
well, you sent me a message, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought you were kidding.
yeah.
No, I had to check myself, and I didn't believe it. And
I didn't either. I was like, I gotta check my sources. Rachel, Jeremy.
Because he's literally, I mean, he's been saying he's been doing better, and he said he couldn't come to E3 this year because they were working on some of the new projects with like the DNA and so forth. And that's the other thing people need to realize. He is gone, but some of the biggest ideas he was working on are still coming. The
Of
DNA
course.
deal, which I'm still up in the air on what that's going to be, but that's coming. The NX that's been announced and has been being worked on for this whole time. That's coming out. So there's still a little bit more coming from him even after his death.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we shall see.
Yep, indeed.
yeah. He was
so
a very important figure in gaming, and he will be sorely missed.
Agreed.
And as I mentioned before, Balloon Fight is the song we're going to listen to during the break. It's from the Smash Bros. Wii U. And next up, we'll have video game news and your nerd vocab.
Yes.
All right, here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
All right, and welcome back to the Nerd Edification Hour here on Alternation Radio. I am Jeremy Powers, and to my left,
I am Rachel.
and that other guy.
I'm Caleb. I'm the other guy.
That's technically accurate.
So,
Yeah.
Caleb,
What?
what's our nerd vocab?
Nerd vocab for today is QuickTime events.
Ooh, and what are those?
Or QTE, as it were. They are on-screen icons prompting players to press specific buttons as quickly as possible.
And they are very popular in certain games.
Yes, a little too much sometimes.
Blame Shenmue. That game was so many quick time events.
I think the entire game is QuickTime events.
And looking for sailors.
Looking for sailors. Oh, but yes, QuickTime events, they can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Good thing in the case of God of War, which, a bad thing in the case of every other.
They can be used in
mixed.
certain ways. I mean, if you think about it, the Batman series, the Arkham Knight and all that, technically all of your dodging and so forth is kind of a quick time event where you have it slows down for a split second with a notification. You just have to hit. It doesn't tell you exactly which button. That's
Yeah.
still considered
And
a quick
Final
time.
sometimes-
Fantasy 15, the combo stuff is QuickTime event as well. So, I mean, but as long as it's not overused, then it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good
sometimes
thing.
it's an excuse to make a whole final boss a QuickTime event. Shadow of Mordor, looking at you.
Yeah. Looking at you.
It's
Shadow of
getting
Mordor.
ridiculous.
Now, Kingdom Hearts 2 was filled with QuickTime
Which those
events.
were okay. I mean, it made sense.
But they were cool, but there could have been less of them.
Yeah.
And
They didn't know. Or
yeah, that's what we're getting to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Getting
yeah.
ahead here.
Series director Tetsuya Nomura felt that they were overused.
Yay!
So he did say that. As such, he revealed in a recent interview that Kingdom Hearts 3 will not feature QuickTime events. Good job, Tetsuya. Good
Press A to
job. Yeah. So
Press F to feel. Oh, goodness.
He just says it's QTE is not there anymore. For people who have seen the flashy battles in Kingdom Hearts 2, it felt like there were too many of them when doing these operations. So there might be something similar to QuickTime events in there, but not necessarily a QuickTime
I have
event.
yet to see any dual Keyblade wielding.
I saw a screen cap of a Keyblade gun.
That is not the same thing. It's just two dual
Doesn't
Keyblades
Does it have a
versus two
Doesn't
chainsaw on
guns.
it? Because I'm spoiled from Gears of War. Does it have a chainsaw?
No, all I saw was it looked like a handgun that was all curvy
Yes.
and strange and cotton candy.
We've only seen the guns and the Disney rides that pop out of nowhere. That's all we've seen.
And
we have not yet seen dual wielding Keyblades, which
Calm
was
down, Caleb.
my favorite thing in Kingdom Hearts 2. Don't you take
Just
that away from
Calm
me.
down, Caleb. Calm down. Just like cool your britches, all right?
Press A to calm down.
Yeah. But yeah, so there he's taking them out. But like I said, we've seen the guns.
That's all we've seen.
It looks like a dang hand cannon or a handgun. That's what they look like. It's kind of cool. Kind of throwing.
Which they aren't even real guns. They just kind of spew out fireballs and those.
That doesn't mean that they're not guns.
little.
They're
Yeah,
key
so-
swords and things. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure at this
so-
point, reality's gone.
Yeah, reality's out the window.
Well,
Sorry.
when
You
you
have a
have
king that's
Disney-
a small animated mouse.
Yeah, when you have Disney rides that pop out of nowhere, yeah, there is no reality.
When you're being followed by Donald and Goofy, reality is gone. Okay.
You might need to go.
But this one does look
need
pretty
help.
dark, so we'll see.
Hopefully.
Not darker than Dream Drop Distance was, because that was pretty dark.
That one was, yeah.
Like that one was. Oh,
You had all
wow.
these little happy helpers, and then the story was
like,
just
I
like
thought it was cute, and now I'm
Ooh.
like, wow.
Kyle didn't appreciate
Oh, I
it.
remember when that game was being developed. Caleb, I think I talked to you about it when it was being developed, and I said I think something really bad is going to happen to Sora. And it did. So I'm wondering what bad things are going to happen in this one.
Everything's.
Yeah, it's the final installment of the Xehanort saga, so who knows where Kingdom Hearts will go after that. But
Oh boy.
yeah, now we're moving. Speaking of darkness,
Ooh, the darkness. Foreboding.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
FNAF.
That's what that means. You just put FNAF, and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
FNAF.
The release date has been bumped up from Halloween to make the anniversary with the original Five Nights at Freddy's. And it's going to be August 8th, by the way. And then apparently there's going to be some extra content on October 1st.
Yeah, I can hear
31st,
Matt
excuse
Pat
me.
rolling on the floor when that really. If you guys don't know who that is, he makes all the game theory videos. That's the one thing that he's
He's going to go nuts.
yeah.
And
I'm a
I
big fan
know,
of
I know that Markiplier is going to lose his mind, and he's going to play the game like really fast. But I saw the trailer, and it's not in Freddy Fazbear's. It's in your house.
And then the trailer is like, "What game do you think you're playing?" As if it's trying to be deep and.
That it just
You
looks
know,
disturbing, and the trailer looked really low key and bad. I noticed.
That because he puts it together in like 3 weeks. So
Yeah, so it's. I'm wondering how it's going to go. We'll see.
it's probably the same as others. So,
Oh, I know that, but I'm just like, I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. That's what I'm saying. He probably did.
probably.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what's going on with Metal Gear Solid 5?
Once again, we have more fighting between Kojima and Konami going forth.
Backhand to the face, in other words.
Yeah, pretty much. It's now official. There will be no Kojima on Metal Gear Solid 5's box. The slap in the face comes as no surprise to anyone who's followed the ongoing Kojima-Konami clash, which started with Konami stripping Kojima's name from various items on their website and has led to rumors that the veteran director will leave the company once his contract is up later this year.
But is that what started all this? Like, or did we just something in the company that we don't know about?
We probably don't know about it. It could have been a combination of things.
Part of it is that Konami's making a big push wanting to move towards just mobile games.
Oh.
So that's part of why they killed Silent Hill, which of course Kojima was also working on, which I'm sure that did not help.
Yeah, and Del Toro probably cried.
Del Toro was probably pissed.
He probably. That's why he made Crimson Peak.
Because some of these games really aren't that scary half the time when I play them, but they did a beautiful job with PT, the playable trailer.
Yeah.
That was actually really, really good.
Yeah, but
Konami also canceled, they're talking about here, the Silent Hills, but you can continue to argue placing Hideo Kojima game on top of a title does something of a disservice to all the other designers, programmers, producers, artists, and sound designers, QA testers, and other developers who dedicated countless hours to the fifth and presumably final Metal Gear Solid. Kojima's name is all over the game anyway, but this is a bizarre, apparently offensive move.
It's a real slap in the face. Like, he was the person who did like 90% of everything on that game. That's what he's known for. And then Konami's like, yeah, well, we don't like you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like it is a Hideo Kojima game, just like you have, the director for a movie. It's going to say it's his movie. Yes, there's a whole staff that works on it, which are credited, but he's the one kind of guiding it and going from there. And Metal Gear has been very much Kojima's baby. It is
his baby.
Yeah, he started every bit of it.
It'll always be his baby.
Yep,
well,
and
not
now
this
it's
one
all gone.
But yeah, well, speaking of Silent Hills, there's fresh rumors going around that about the playable teaser that Konami for the canceled game, claiming that the company is beginning to remove already downloaded copies of the demo from PlayStation 4 consoles worldwide. A Konami spokesperson told VG247, Video Games 24/7, that these reports are incorrect and that there is no system in place that would allow either Konami or Sony to remove content from people's consoles in this way. So
I'll have to check because I still have mine.
Now,
but I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know if it's still there.
That doesn't mean that there's not a way to, say, update the firmware where it renders the game unplayable.
Well, the problem they had before is since they took it off the store, the PlayStation would try and check in to verify its copyright, wouldn't find the game anymore, and would lock you out of the entire system.
Well, but one thing, why would they want to just take it off of people's
They just
consoles?
want it gone.
That's weird, though.
Because that's kind of the concern of mine. I wanted to keep it, and since I don't play my PS4 online anymore, I actually disabled it from all internet. I haven't turned it on in a while, but I just disabled all internet on my PS4 to keep the demo so we can play it more.
Yeah.
So in that way, they've literally cut off any attachment I have for anything PlayStation doing that. So great move, I guess.
Good job, everybody.
And speaking of, people leaving companies and stuff,
this is a little bigger than that.
It's a little bigger than that. Go ahead, Caleb.
We haven't heard much about Dead Island 2 since it was announced at E3 2014, but get ready to not hear much else about it because the publisher, Deep Silver, just announced that they're dropping the developer. Jaeger.
He was dragging that on there.
Oh no, what are we going to do without an island full of zombies? Oh no.
Can we just say Dying Light was basically the second one? It was originally supposed to be.
I'm not a fan of zombie games.
Yeah, the publisher.
I love them.
I couldn't care less about this.
Yeah, the publisher did announce. And like the trailer did look cool though, with the guy running and whatnot with the headphones.
Completely oblivious to everything around him.
Yeah, and but the publisher said with Dead Island 2, Deep Silver has always been dedicated to delivering the sequel that the Dead Island fans deserve. After careful consideration, we announce the decision to part ways with development partner Jaeger. We will continue working towards bringing our vision of Dead Island 2 to life, and we will share further information at a later stage. Dismal stuff.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I mean, we never even saw gameplay on this. It was just the CG trailers again.
I don't know. Maybe the development company wasn't doing its job, or maybe it was trying to go in a different direction of what the publishing company wanted to do. Who knows? But
oh well,
it's dead now. We'll see if it rises later.
That was a good one. But out this week in games, Rory
McIlroy. Rory McIlroy for PGA Tour.
No, I don't like that last name. I can't say
McIlroy.
I'm not going to try. The God of War 3 remastered edition for the PS4.
Because we haven't played that already.
Hey, but now you can get trophies
now you
for
get
it on the
special
PS4.
HD Supreme Edition with added stuff.
Yeah, hooray. And then Godzilla the game.
Which I heard wasn't very good, so yeah.
So, yeah, that is our gaming news, and we're going to have a quick break and then go to
Or are we?
Are we?
I'm the host. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're having a
Well, yeah. But quick break. give you some music, and then we're going to have science and technology section.
Yep, and the song is Big Blue from the F-Zero series, and we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. And you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jeremy.
We had a bit of background music there, as I can see. I like that a lot. That
I was
nice.
moving to the groove one, and I didn't remember to pause it.
We're getting excited to talk about, personally, my favorite planet that's apparently not a planet.
It was a planet for about 15 minutes, just whenever we got all this information.
Oh.
You probably know what we're talking about now.
I want to hear what Neil deGrasse Tyson has to say.
I do too. I cannot wait for him to say something. But I did see some of the videos from when, all the Pluto stuff came in, some of it at least. And the first person I saw was Bill Nye. And he was so excited.
He's excited about everything.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He's
It's
the science
Pluto.
guy. So
Talking about the dog from
Let me
Disney.
tell you, Pluto. I always thought it was like a gray blue for some reason.
That's what
That's what was shown a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just remembering from back in the day of science classes when I was a child, the pictures of Pluto in there. The only known one that we had, the one that was an actual picture, was really blurry and pixelated, and it was taken from some other transmitter thing that was out near there.
Right.
Because it looks blue with the light and
Yeah,
stuff.
but it
now
was
that
very blurry, and
Yeah.
now that the New Horizons spacecraft went by it, it's actually coffee colored.
Yeah. It looks.
It's
it looked
finally
a
caught
lot
up
like
with the graphical
Mars.
color scheme of the Xbox 360.
Oh my goodness.
It's all brown.
It's all brown.
Oh.
But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. It's wonderful. We won't get any more of the larger files, like pictures-wise and other large amounts of data until 16 months from now. So much time between
Steering
things.
that thing has to be a nightmare.
Pluto's still on dial-up. They haven't received Google Fiber or anything like that. So
They're working on it, but
No.
we're running out of fiber.
when you download a super million gajillion pixel JPEG image or whatever, it takes a while on dial-up.
Yeah, well, we learned a few things about Pluto from this pass by. The heart-shaped area on Pluto itself does not stand still. It's constantly changing. It's probably caused by frost, they think. And Pluto may be little, but it's bigger than we thought. The newest, most accurate measurement that they received was about 1,473 miles. And it's about 70 kilometers, which is 44 miles, more than they originally thought, which means that Pluto is the largest object in our solar system that is beyond Neptune's orbit. And also, apparently, the craters that exist on Pluto's surface that we were able to see, apparently they might be named after some Star Trek characters. Way to go, NASA.
That'll later be retconned after something happens to Spock.
And yeah, probably. And there's something in the air. New Horizons detected nitrogen emissions from Pluto as early as 5 days away from its closest approach.
It's got some gas.
It's got a little gas.
It's got a little gas.
Yeah.
And there's dark spots on Pluto's surface.
It has dark side.
It's strange because these irregularities are in similar size and spacing. Unfortunately,
Aliens.
They rotated out of view before New
Aliens.
Horizons
Oh,
arrived.
my hair's not crazy enough for that one yet. Aliens.
Yeah, so we're not going to know much more about them from this mission. Now, or during the break, we kind of talked about this a little bit more in detail, but I'm guessing that the best way for them to get more data would be like to send a probe or something like that and get it into the orbit of Pluto and just have it constantly monitor, which would be a very interesting mission. But New Horizons is going beyond that, so who knows what we're going to get from that.
There were a lot of Pluto memes on the internet.
Oh, there was.
Just like someone it's like, hi, aw, with the satellite passing. It's like, a friend, aw, alone again.
And there's definitely ice caps on Pluto. The ice has been confirmed as frozen methane and nitrogen ice.
Nice.
So it's
Nice
pretty
ice.
cool. I for one love space. And lastly, we'll talk very quickly about Pirate Bay. The founders of Pirate Bay, which is the largest torrenting site in the world, escaped prison time and anything from the trial that happened.
They
pretty
downloaded
much.
get it a free jail card.
They pretty
Yeah.
much did that. According to the four, who is the Pirate Bay Four.
I was like, I'll give you $5 if you can get these names correctly on the first try.
Gottfried Svartholm, Frederick Nige, Peter Sunde, and Carl Lundstrom, I believe. That's how they pronounced. Just using my background in Norwegian,
Lundstrom.
Swedish, all the Nordic nations' names and stuff like that. But anyway, their connections were severed from Pirate Bay in 2006 in a joint decision to sell the company to some other company. And the charges that they were brought upon them those events took place between September of 2011 and November of 2013. So because they weren't there when it happened, they were able to elude liability, and because prosecutors weren't able to actually tie them to the actions during the 2-year period in question, they were forced to throw out the case. So that's very interesting legally in gaming. So
It kind of makes sense. I mean, if they sold the company and weren't having anything to do with it at that point,
right,
I mean,
exactly. But yeah, that's all for our science and technology news.
Yep, that's pretty much it. That'll do it here. It was a lot of stuff to talk about.
yep.
We'll be here same time next week on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. What is our last song?
Last song is the ending theme to Super Mario 64.
Enjoy.
See ya.
Bye.
Stay fancy.